Sean. Welcome to the Mr. Beacon podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, and thanks for this opportunity.
Yeah, I am. I've been fascinated by Bluetooth angle of arrival ever since I started writing about and covering this space. And it's, I am really anxious for the technology to be adopted more. And, really there's been very few vendors that have a solution in this space. And I think actually having some choice is going to be really good for the segment and allow it to grow. And of course, your company is based in China. And I think, when China really starts working on things, then it tends to go big. And I'm seeing China driving other wireless standards that are to do with ambient IoT in a really big way. I think Chinese vendors are driving ambient IoT in the 3GPP standards organization. So it's not often that we get to talk to folks from China about what they're doing. So I'm really looking forward to this. Let's just start off with the basics. Tell us a bit about BlueIoT, the company. What's your elevator pitch?
Okay. So BlueIoT, as the world's leading RTLS provider, is committed to developing high-precision locating products and solutions for indoor application scenarios, like the healthcare, logistics, warehouse, manufacturing, smart building. And BlueIoT locating system bring its accuracy level down to 0.1 meters, so which is 10 times higher than the traditional Bluetooth positioning technologies. With the locating anchors, its locating system is compatible with all Bluetooth 4.0 or above attacks, and it supports high precision locating service for both LOT tags and the phone with the Bluetooth chipset inside of this phone. And the system is also further high capacity, low energy, low cost, and the smaller size.
So that's a lot of amazing things.
Yeah.
How large is your company? How many customers do you have?
Okay. So for now, the BlueIoT headquarters in Beijing, and we have three more technical centers in provincial capitals like the Nanjing, Guangzhou, Chengdu. And we have built diverse and professional teams of over 300 staffs. And most of them come from the Tsinghua University.
Wow. So that's a lot of people in your organization.
Yes.
I assume that means you have fairly significant revenue coming in. Are you a private company, a public company? Actually, yeah. What's the status of BlueIoT? Are you how are you funded?
So BlueIoT is the wholly owned subsidiary of the Chinko, created by the recent Zhao, who is graduate from the Tsinghua University as well. So both the Chinko and BlueIoT are high precision RTLS providers, but Chinko specializes in the ultra band, another kind of the precision technology.
Ultra wideband. Yeah.
Yeah. So Chingo is specialized in the ultra band development and applications and has taken lead both in China and abroad. But with the update of the Bluetooth protocols to 5.1, and Chingo can foresee a promising future to apply the Bluetooth technologies to RTLS. So this is why we established the BlueIoT and focus more on the Bluetooth AOA-based RTLS.
Okay, so you started off, the parent company was doing ultra wideband, another very accurate technology.
Yeah.
Bluetooth 5.1 comes along, and then you decide to create a product line there. can you tell us a bit about your size in terms of customers? Do you have very many customers?
Yes, we have did more than 300 projects all over the world and work with and more than 50 countries involved in the within this 2 years experience.
Okay. And where are most of your customers? Are most of your customers in China? I mean, 50 countries, that's a lot of countries, but is it evenly spread? Or I'm assuming your strength is in China. It's a huge market, right?
Yes, but we have the market in the China, and in
Hmm.
parallel, we also explore the overseas market, and we did a lot of projects in the South Asia, in the Euro, South Asia country like the Indonesia, Singapore, and India.
Oh.
Yeah, and we also did a lot of projects in the Euro and work with the
Hmm.
our solution integrator in the Germany, yeah, in the Sarabia, yes.
Huh. And where do you see your angle of arrival technology being used the most? What are the main use cases that are driving adoption? Because you offer very high accuracy, and I think it's something that everyone says that they want. But then when they find they have to pay even a little bit more, then quite often they say, oh, well, maybe not. So I'm very interested to understand where it is that people are willing to actually invest the extra money to get that high level of accuracy that you offer.
Okay, I would say the most competitive the area is the healthcare. You know, so for the hospital, because it has a lot of complex layout, it contains a lot of different rooms. So
Hmm.
when the layout is contains a lot of rooms, the BlueIoT technology will be more compatible with this layout. Because one
Hmm.
anchor in the room could realize the two-dimension positioning, but for the ultraband, if
Hmm.
it need to realize two-dimensioning, it need at least three anchors. And
Hmm.
yeah, and for the healthcare, we did a lot of case. And for example, we deploy more than 3,000 anchors in the uh, national hospital in Nanshan district, Shenzhen. Realize the full
Hmm.
coverage of the real-time tracking. And our system is used to track the patient equipment and stuff to improve the management
Hmm.
efficiencies. For example, it will record the time consumption of every step from the patient entering into the hospital to the patient getting the
Hmm.
proper treatment. So after data
Okay.
accumulation and analyzed, it could use to reduce the time consumptions in the unnecessary step, so which may save more
Hmm.
lives. So on the
Right.
other hand, our partner developed a navigation app based on our system. So the app could help the
Hmm.
patient to find the target medical department more effective. And also the
Okay.
staff could use this app to find the patient when the emergency happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And you mentioned you're tracking patients, you're
Yeah.
tracking staff, but you're also tracking equipment. What sort of equipment are they tracking?
Like the medic equipment. So sometimes
Hmm.
it will move the surgery machine or something over the
Hmm.
hospital. You need to know where this machine goes and how this machine moved in a certain period. So it could be
Hmm.
used to help
Okay.
to improve their management efficiency about the equipment management.
And where are you in the development of the product? How long has Blue IoT been in this business, and what's the current version of the angle of arrival product?
I think I am in the field of the global Bluetooth high precision indoor positioning. Bluetooth is an industry pioneer promoters, and advocates. So as the earliest release of Bluetooth 5.1 protocol in 2019, BlueIoT immediately invested in the research and development of Bluetooth high precision product. And at the end of the 2020, the company officially launched this product to the market and start the global business strategy from the beginning. And we also pushed the domestic business in parallel. And after more than 2 years business practice so far, we accumulate a lot of experience in hundreds of projects in various industries. And we successfully exported product to more than 15 countries and regions, just like I said, and around the world with our business partners. And they gave us great confidence to occupy a large market share in the global market in the next 3 to 5 years.
And can you describe the product in a little more detail? What's the scope of what you provide versus your partners, the hardware and the software?
Yeah. So we provide the anchors, tags, and software and then to our client. So the anchor just just pretty easy. Just put the anchor in the cell link, and the coverage will depends on the height you deploy the anchors. And the tags, we have different kinds of tag, and for different kind of scenario, we have the badge tag for the employee or the worker, and we have the wristband tag, and it has much smartwatch functions. It could be used to detect the temperature, body temperature, and heart rate. So this tag normally used for the patient in the healthcare. And we also have the asset tracking tag, like the black cube, and it could be attached on the magnet stuff. So for the software part, we have the positioning engine and application software. So positioning engine just the algorithm. So when it received all this raw location data, it will be processed into X and Y coordinate in this positioning engine. And application software just use all this coordinate to realize several functions like the geofence, regional statistic, and we have pretty flexible architecture about the system. So if you want to deploy your own dashboard, could only use our positioning engine to get the coordinates. So you could, based on the coordinate, to do your own dashboard, no problem. And if you need our functions, and you could deploy our application software, no problem.
So you have a dashboard, but you have APIs so that people can develop their own dashboards.
Yes, exactly.
Is that what? And do you work with very many? So what do people do? Do you tend to deploy and develop the application yourself, or does your customer do it, or do you have partners with different applications for different verticals? How does that work?
So it depends on our partners. So if our partners, they are the solution provider, so they will prefer to promote our entire architecture. And if our partner, they are the system integrators, so they will use the API and deploy our system and through the positioning engine to extract all this coordinate to do their own software. So actually spends on.
Very good. And do you find yourself working with general global systems integrators, or are you working with more smaller, more specialist companies?
Yeah, actually, we work with the smaller and special companies in different countries.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. And how much does the system cost? What's your approach to pricing?
So the price of a single tag only takes $7 to $8.
That is low. Yeah, that's very very competitive. And what about the anchor devices?
So anchor, we have different kinds of anchors for different scenarios. For the standard version anchors, it only takes $300. And we also have the
Hmm.
long range anchors could be installed in the higher height, and it can
Hmm.
cover the large area, and it will be competitive in the higher height. So it will save the cost for in the scenario with the height is more than like 10 meters.
And maybe you can talk a bit about some of the other vertical markets that you're working in. I understand healthcare is one of the leading ones, but can you tell us a bit more about other applications, other verticals?
Okay, so I think uh, I would say the warehouse. So in the warehouse, it is pretty opening area and very suitable for deploy the anchors. Just like I said, the long range anchors will be more compelling in this scenario. And when you deploy the anchors in the warehouse, it could be used to find the uh, material in the warehouse and could be used to track the personnel and the forklift in this warehouse and to improve the management efficiency in this scenario.
And for a warehouse, how many of the anchors would I need in order to cover a given space?
Actually, it depends on the height. So if the warehouse is pretty high, and we assume
Hmm.
its height is more than 10 meters, and one anchor could cover
Hmm.
like 400 square meters
Hmm.
in general. So actually, several anchors could cover 100, uh, more than 100 square meters. So it actually depends on the area of this warehouse.
And are you generally providing just X and Y positioning, or are you also tracking the height, the Z axis?
For now, we only uh, offer the two-dimensioning positioning, and the
Uh,
Z tracking is ongoing, developing.
okay. And back to the way the product works, does the location engine run on site? Does the customer have a PC or a server or something that is running on site? What does that look like?
Okay, so the position engine could be run in the personal server on site, no problem, and also it could be deployed in the cloud. So if you have the cloud in the locate, you could just put the position engine in the cloud and connect the several places uh, data and put the data into the position engine, get the coordinate, do your own application, no problem. And it could save the cost to buy different, positioning engine.
I see. Um, Very good. Well, what is the typical process? A hospital decides that they want to deploy your technology. What does that project look like? What are the steps that you typically take?
You mean the step we deploy the anchors?
Yeah, the deployment process. If we're building a project plan, how long does it take to deploy the solution
I
typically?
think actually our deployment process is pretty simple. And when you have the
Hmm.
drawing of this project and you have the height information of this drawing, and you could know the coverage of the anchors, and you could just compare the coverage with this room's area and decide one anchor is enough or maybe several anchors is enough to cover the whole coverage. And when you decided the spot you deploy the anchor, you could just put the anchor in the designated spot according to your design and just connect the anchors to the switch by the cable. And we also support the series connections. So one port in the switch could connect 4 anchors maximum. So it could save the cabling wearing cost. And And after that, when you finish the connection work, and our technical support could help you to initialization of the system, and our system can be put into use. Very simple.
So the power for your the Anchor devices, is that power over Ethernet that you're using? Or?
Yeah, we're powered by the PoE.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. And what is your view about how you compare with your competitors? Where do you focus, and what do you see your relative strengths as compared to other angle of arrival offerings?
Okay, so I would say our advantage, one is the stability, and the other is accuracy. So our system will be more stable compared with other similar AOA providers, and the system could know, and the accuracy, the between the real spot and the spot in the system is smaller compared with the other providers. And what the anchor coverage will be bigger in the same room or in the same conditions. So we can deploy less anchors and save the cost.
And why do you think that is, given that it's all Bluetooth and it's all the same standard? Why do you think you have that advantage?
Because we just as I said, we have the ultra band experience in the algorithm. So we
okay.
accumulate long years of the how to decide different kinds of interference when you receive the signals. So we just combine the ultra band positioning algorithm and with the Bluetooth algorithm. So I think the core part why we could be more competitive is the algorithm. So our algorithm is pretty powerful. It could know. So if the signal is reflect from the metal or the glass, it could know and remove this signal. So just make sure the whole pore is clean and more accurate.
I see.
Yeah.
And last question for this part of the program. The next part we'll ask you a little bit about you and so forth. But the last part, what's your assessment of the market, of the drivers for what you do? Any business, we look at where things are. Do you think people are we in a mature market? Are we in the early stage? Do you see a lot of growth? What's your view on the market?
I think high precision real-time location intelligence is an important component of the information and the intelligence technologies. So it has played a very important role in the improving product efficiency, strengthening the safety supervisions, and improving the social management level. And also it will promote the digital management and the operation of the modern enterprise. All this demand will drive this technology grow and bloom. And for the market, we also, when we work with our partners, we can know the market in the AOA is growing, and we are talking about more projects and more applications. Yeah.
And I mean, is there a problem or a set of problems that you think are driving people to implement this? Because the world has existed without Bluetooth angle of arrival for a long time. What do you think is going to make this bigger and grow?
Yes. So of course, the people for now they become lazy. So they need the information very quick and very convenient life they require. So for example, just like hospital, when not in the old age, when we enter into hospital, we will confused about which way we need to go and which doctor I need to find. For now, just the mobile phone can solve our problem. you just open the app in the mobile phone and deploy our system, and navigation could tell you all the way, all
Mhm.
place you need to go one by one. So it saves the time and make people more lazy.
Or maybe our expectations have just got higher of the
Yeah,
convenience
yeah,
that
yeah.
we expect. Very good. So what? So we have this tradition. What are the three songs that you decided to choose?
Yeah, the first song I would like to choose the "See You Again." So it's the theme song of the Furious and Speed, and it talks a
Ah,
story about the brotherhood.
uh
And
huh,
this song just remind me of the time I spent with my good friends in the college.
uh huh.
And second song
Excellent.
I would like to choose the "Crashing." So it's the song the telling story about the love. So it just tell me that I'm still young when I listen to this song.
And
And
so,
the
who is
serious
that song by? Which artist recorded it?
Uh, I actually I do not. I'm not the good name remember. So actually I just follow the rhythm and the beat, the melody of this song.
Okay, but is this a Chinese artist or is it an English or American artist?
It's foreign artist, but I'm not sure it is from. She's from the British or America. I'm not very
Okay,
clear about that.
but you listen to music with English lyrics.
Yes, English lyric.
Is that very common in China?
Um, Actually, it depends. Some they like the English lyric, and someone like the Chinese lyric. Uh, it depends.
All right. And what do you use to? How do you find English music? Do you? I mean, here I use Spotify. That's the app that I use. Is that something that's available to you, or do you use something else?
Yeah, we have our music app in China, so it also could download uh, the music all over the world.
Oh, and what is that called? What's the name of that app?
Uh, the name is called the Music Cloud. You could
Music
download
Cloud.
music from the cloud. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a very straightforward name. That's
Yes,
cool.
yes, exactly.
Okay. So, and what is your third song?
My third song is called "Low Life," and it's like the rock and roll music, and I like just like the beats of this song. So sometimes when I feel exhausted or not very happy, I would like to listen to this song. It will cheers me again.
All right.
Hmm.
That sounds good. So, tell us a bit about yourself. What's your role at Blue IoT?
Yes, my job in the BlueIoT is the senior technical engineers, and I will be
Uh huh.
responsible for the solution design, paying client training, and solution demonstration, and project feasibility assessment.
And how long have you worked at the company for?
Almost 1 year.
Okay. And how did you get the job?
Actually, it's the human resources employee of this company and get contact with me, and we have very nice talk about the job and the salary, and we
Hmm.
we I think it's a win-win situation. So this is the reason why I joined this company.
And what were you doing before Blue IoT?
I was the technical support in the company named Nuke Tech, and it's the uh, security check equipment provider and solution provider about the security check. And yeah, I have been there 3 years.
I assume that before this you were in college. You went to university or something like that. When did you
Yeah,
graduate?
so I finished my bachelor degrees at the Sichuan University. Do you know Sichuan? Do you know
I
the
don't
hot
know.
pot? Hot pot?
No,
You don't know hot pot?
I don't know hot pot. No.
Okay, so don't worry about that. So the Sichuan is the mother province of the hot pot. So it's
Okay.
very delicious and spicy food. You could.
Oh,
Oh, you
okay.
remember that? Yeah. Okay.
No, no. I mean, I like spicy food, but
Okay.
other than that, it doesn't mean anything to me. No.
Okay. And after that, I went to America. I went to New York, and
Oh,
I pursued my master's degree at Cornell University.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard of Cornell. So,
Yeah. Good.
did you enjoy your time there?
Yeah, it's pretty hard time there. You need to spend a lot of time to study and do the research. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, did you get to do anything other than work? I hope so.
Yes.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
Did you get to travel around the United States?
Yeah, I have been a lot of the different cities like Chicago and San Francisco, and yeah, I have been a lot of different cities, and they have different different country and different feeling. Yeah.
And do you think, what is something that you think Americans could learn from the Chinese? I mean, you probably saw what we do, and maybe there's some things that you liked, and then other things you're shaking your head. And what would you say we could
Okay.
Americans could learn from the Chinese?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit tough questions, and I think first thing that American could learn from Chinese is that food. Food. Yeah. Because
I
Chinese
I
have
love Chinese
5,000
food,
years.
so
Yeah.
I'm not going to
But
argue with that.
in the American, the Chinese food is not real Chinese food. Yeah.
You're
It
kidding.
has been.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not kidding. Because in the American, the Chinese food has been turned into the American style. It's been kind
Oh.
of sweet style. Yeah. If you have chance, you come to China. I will treat you with the real Chinese food.
I would love to do that. I really want to come
Okay.
to China. I want to go and see the Great Wall. I want to see the Terracotta Army, all of the touristy stuff, and also, the infrastructure. I'm just so, we struggle to make train lines here.
Yeah.
I live in California, and it takes hours and hours and hours to travel around. And you guys have done an amazing job with the infrastructure. So I want to try, travel on the train system you have. And so I've heard amazing things. I actually went to China, gosh, back in 1989. And I think it's probably changed quite a bit since then.
Yeah. Yes.
And I do remember having a Chinese meal and thinking, man, this is nothing like anything I've ever had before. It was,
Yeah.
it was very different. But that was before the high-tech revolution. And
Yes.
so I feel like I need to catch up. So very good. Well, thanks for talking a little bit about that. I really enjoyed it.
So, thank you, Steve, and thanks for your time.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Mr. Beacon Ambient IoT podcast here on YouTube. You can listen to this episode on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed it, please like and share this video. Be sure to subscribe for more videos. For more information about BlueIoT, Ambient IoT, and IoT Pixels, head over to BlueIoT.com.